Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Anthony's Amazing World. We're here today. I'll be working on my 1995 Ford Explorer with the manual transmission. I'll be taking out, same with the transfer case, the drive shafts, the starter, and exhaust, and the stick on the transmission. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and jump right into that. Right, here we go. We're going to take out the stick. Just need some 4 Phillips screws. Might want a little screwdriver right here to fit right there. Each one underneath the rubber here. I always like using tools if I have power tools if I can. Get that off there. Just kind of pull it up. Got another one right here. Ooh. It's horrible right here. Alright, now you get this nut right here. That's not going to work. Which I believe it's a 17. That nut off right there. Take the same nut, put it on this side, and you impact that bad boy. Just like so. Might have to give it a little tap on the back side there. Alright, got a hammer. I'll give it a tap now. There we go. Nice tap. Should get it loose. And just save that bad boy. Looks like the threads got messed up a little. There you go. Alright, on to the next part. We're going to jack this thing up, start working on the underbelly. Okay, now I'm at the transfer case and I'm going to disconnect some wires here. Here's what controls the motor for shifting it into high and low. It's got a little tab right here. Give it a quick yank. Make sure you wear some glasses because it might be dirty and it might fall in your eyeballs. And you got the speed sensor up here, right up here. Should have 2 clips on it. Mine are broken, but still works to stay input and plugged in. So you got 2 wires on the transfer case, or 2 plugs, I mean, on the transfer case to undo. And then the next part is I'm going to do the O2 sensors. They got little plugs. Got 2 plugs there. One right here and another one on the other side here. It's kind of tucked up in there. Right up in there. So, once again, it's got a little clip, usually right there, right up in there. Push down with the finger, it should pop right off. And we'll do this other one. That one's right here. This little clip right there. Give it a good tug. I'm also going to disconnect my hydraulic line right here. Usually it's just a clip holding it in. It's good and tight in there. That's good. I'm going to have to get some pliers. There we go. I had to make this one because the ones that came with it wasn't working properly. Oh! And there it's going to drain out some brake fluid. Which didn't seem like much. It's all black coming out. I don't know what that is, but we're going to find out. Okay, from there, now I'm going to start taking my drive shafts off. Now on the front part of the drive shaft, in the very front, looks like some 30 Torx. I believe it's a 30, maybe a 35. And then on the back side, you have 8mm right there. There are 12 points. And now, the other thing you got to do, is because this is turning, you got to either put something right in here, like a pry bar or a big screwdriver, and it'll stop it from rotating, so then you can loosen your bolts up. So I'm going to go get me a pry bar. I'm going to lodge it in there and then start taking these apart. Okay, I got my pry bar, which just go ahead and stick it through the slot here, and then now it won't rotate on you when you're taking off the 8mm, 12 points, which I like to loosen those up first. Oh, wrong direction. There we go. These should have like 20 foot-pounds of torque on. Not very much. Just get those loose. You might have to rotate it if you need to. But they all came loose real easy. This is a good little tool. My smaller 8mm doesn't give me enough torque. So if you can find an 8mm that's long. Okay, now I'm going to take the front Torx bolts out. The front diff, or the front drive shaft. Connected to the front diff. These should zap off another same 20 foot-pounds, I believe. And take our pry bar out. like so. Oh no, that's no good. Broke the tip off. I have to take a break and figure out to get that out. Okay, looks like I broke my tip in the bolt. So I'm going to see if this little magnet will get it out. There we go. Lucky on that, I guess. So I'm going to go ahead and use my breaker bar and gently break it. So go ahead and put this back in. There we go. That might be an idea to break them first, but usually I was able to get this off with an impact. Usually. There we go. Oop. Getting in there too far. There we go. Now they're all broken loose. Oop. There we go. Now I should be able to hit them with the impact real quick. Okay, I should be able to zap these off now that I got them loose. Without breaking a bit in there. Like so. I'm going to leave those loose for now, and I'm going to get the 8mm off in the back. And then I can remove the front drive shaft. I got this special little guy that's got a 12-point inside. It's a 5/16, but at least these are broken loose now. I should be able to get it off real quick. So there's one. There's the second one. Two there. I got two right here. Just like so. Might have to give this a little whack, or it might just come loose as soon as I get these all off. Oh, there we go. I'll take the front ones off. These last two front ones. Voila. Put all my bolts together. There we go. part's loose. Might have to whack the front a little bit. Or maybe use the pry bar, one or the other. There we go. There's the front drive shaft. Put that aside and we'll work on the rear now. The rear is 12 millimeter 12 point. This also spins freely. So I'll have to put the pry bar somewhere to stop it from rotating. I'm also going to get some different tools set up so I can possibly impact them off. These should be pretty easy on the back, but the front is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to have to use a wrench, maybe double wrench it up to give me the right leverage I need. So, go ahead and take a pause for now. Okay, once again, put your pry bar in to where it doesn't turn on you. And then I got two ideas to loosen these up. I got this bad boy right here, or the old double wrench trick. So I'm going to try with this one here. That worked pretty good. There we go. Got those two loose. And you will have to reposition your pry bar so then you can get to the other sides. So rotate it so that you can get to them. Then put your pry bar back in, which I'll go ahead and show you guys how I do that real quick. Put it in there, and then right under the leaf spring, it should stop it from rotating. All right. One and two. Now that we got them off, you can take the pry bar out if you want. Then just loosen these up. I'll take two off right now, and then I'll start loosening up the back. Like so. Just do the back here, which I got an impact set up for them. Piece of cake. We'll loosen this last one just a little bit. Ooh, that one's a tight one. I'm gonna have to crank this sucker up. Oop. Leave it in there just enough hang. Then I'm going to take these two off in the front. And I'll do the last one in the back. These also too are 12 millimeter. I don't know if I said that. That makes it easy. Always like it when both sides have the same size bolts. Makes things easier than switching back and forth through different tools. There you go, and that's loose. Now all you do, loosen this bad boy up, and we're free. Now the next part from here, I believe, will be the exhaust to take off, which is 3 15s, one there, and then one right up top, which I think I'd be able to zap these off. There we go. Oh, I need a swivel for that. Got the swivel. Ooh. That one don't want to come. These are usually pretty tough too. I'm going to use the double wrench trick. There we go. Always need leverage. Use the double wrench trick. Now for the top one. Just enough. That's pretty tight. After a couple, it should be real easy. A couple turns. There we go. This one, for some reason, is tight all the way. There we go. You should be able to give it a good tug in the back, and it should come right off. Ooh, I got a crack in my exhaust pipe. I did not see that before. I'm gonna have to fix that. Did it crack? Wow, it goes pretty far for that. Almost all the way around, it looks like. Huh. Wonder when that happened. There we go. And just put it right on out. Now I'll get set up to take him off from up there. You got one there and one. Let's see if I can get it right there. Right there by the oil filter. And on this side, one right there, and the other one's on the other side. You should be able to get 3/8 extension, probably about a couple feet long, and then hit it with an impact. So I'm going to go ahead and pause and get set up for that. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and break these loose with a breaker bar because these are pretty tough. Oh, there's some spark right there. That was crazy. These. Yep, these are pretty tough usually because of the heating and cooling down of the motor. Oh, there we go. Once I break these loose, I'll hit them with the impact. Oh, yeah, they like to break like that, I guess. All right. There we go. There's one. Two. I'll get stuck up there. Inside one first. There we go. Get that later. And there we go. Now, to loosen up the transfer case, and we'll see if the transfer case comes out. Okay, now I'm going to show you that there's 5 13mm bolts for the transfer case. One's right here. And the next one is right there. And then one right there. And then this one right here. And one right there. Now it's a smart idea to break them all loose. And then you should be able to get to this one, and the two on the other side with an impact and an extension. But this one is going to be a little tough. You'll have to probably use the 2-wrench trick, or if you have a long boxed wrench, you can possibly get that one. So I'm going to go ahead and break them loose. Give you a view from right here. Let's start with this one on this side. There we go. Go to the top. There we go. On this side. That one was pretty loose. And the bottom one here. And then my 2-wrench trick. Put it like that. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to go get my transmission jack and get this set up before I loosen everything. Well, maybe I'll just do this first because it can hang there. Now, the bottom one's not going to fully come out because of the transmission thing. I can't find the word. Transmission mount. And now hit the other 4 with the impact real quick. There we go. Transfer case should stay there because it'll sit right on the shaft, the transmission shaft. There we go. These should all be the same size. There we go. As you can see, it stays there, but it is starting to split. Now we'll get the transmission jack. Okay, now we'll get the transfer case off. This is a little tricky part. It may help others to have 2 people. I just find it difficult to have 2 people fighting with one item. It is a little heavy and just a little tricky getting out, but best way is to have it come down a little bit. There we go. Just like so. So when you pull it, make sure you twist it just a little bit so it clears the shifter motor. And then you should be golden from there. Set it on there. Let this thing down. Just like so. Now we can concentrate on the transmission and the starter. So I'll get set up for that next. Okay, now I'm going to take off the starter, which it has two 13s, one way up here where the light is pointing to, right here, and then one at the bottom that's holding on to your negative cable there. I'm going to go ahead and jump into pulling that out, and then I'll just let it rest right here. Won't harm nothing. I don't need to take it out completely. So I'll jump right into that. Get some wrenches, and I'll go ahead and do the bottom one first. See how tough it is. There we go. The top one might be a lot tougher to get to. And also, I believe there's two different sizes. Can't remember exactly, but I believe the bottom one's the longer one. Jeez, come on. Comes loose and tightens back up. Come on. There we go. All right. All right. Yeah, I believe the bottom one's the longer one, but put that aside for now. Now, see if I can get to this one. There we go. I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to go ahead and loosen up this bolt right here. So then this can come down just a little bit. I can get in there a lot easier. This is a easy way of getting your starter out. If you just do that a little, and it'll squeeze right out right there if you need to take your starter off. Now you should have enough room to work in there. Yeah. Also, it might be a good idea if you have a ratcheting wrench, but there's not much room for that either. Maybe even a half wrench. I do have one of those. Now that I do have it loose. Which I think I'm going to get one of those. There we go. It does help if you have a 12 point. This one's one of the hardest ones to get to. Just take your time. There we go. Not loose enough yet. All right, let's see. Nope, still not. All right, seems loose enough. Nope. Almost there. Voila. And so yeah, I got a little bit longer one on the bottom. Not much. All right, now we can move on to taking the transmission brace off and taking the transmission out. Okay, now I'm going to take the two 18 nuts off the bottom of this transmission brace. And one and two. And there's 6 nuts and bolts. The bolt size is a 13. And the nut is a 15. Got these long ones. Now it shouldn't move because this thing's in there pretty tight. I'm going to probably have to hit it out with a hammer. I'm going to go ahead and put the transmission jack up. And I'll go ahead and try to get this thing out. So, there. go. And the fun part. There we go. Now, you can let this down if you want. It should be all right. That makes it easier to get to the bolts on top. So I think I'm just going to leave this kind of right here in position. Jack it up just a smidge. Get this in place so when I take it off, it'll be in position. There we go. Now we got 8 13s, I believe, left, and then this whole transmission should come out. So probably going to use a breaker bar on all of them to break them loose, and then I'll hit them with the impact real quick to get them to come out real quick. Okay, as you can see, there's 2 on top, and if you go start working your way down the bottom, you got 1 right there on the side, and another one right there. Get closer. You got 1 right there, 1 right up there. You got 2 on the bottom. Then there's another one there. And right there. And these are all different lengths, so pay attention when you take them out. Label them however you need to label them so they go in the right position. So I'm going to go ahead and break those loose using an extension. There we go. There we go. 1. Do the top one. Ooh. There we go. Do the other top one since I'm right there. And I'm going to work my way on this side. All right, time to get them all off. At this moment, I had lost audio, and I'm just showing you the order I put my bolts in. And then I'm just going to go ahead and take the transmission out, and that'll be the end of this episode. So if you like this content, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And I will see you all later on the next episode of Anthony's Amazing World.